Welcome back or welcome to nicksdrumlessons.com. Today's lesson we're going to go over is a very important one, not only for drummers, but for people who play other instruments. And that question is that we're going to answer, is it in 3/4 or is it in 6/8? Even if you're an educated drummer who knows all their styles, sometimes it's very misleading to be listening to the song, covering it, and knowing that it's in 6/8, and then some other person, guitar player, sax player, whoever, and says, oh, it's a 3/4. No, and again, we'll learn the difference of the two today, all right? So we're going to take 6 songs, and we're going to go over the feel as well as the beat to them so you can learn, is it in 3/4 or is it in 6/8, okay? So the first one we're going to go over is Fiona Apple's Shadow Boxer. Now I'm going to pick tunes that you may not heard of, because let's face it, everybody knows We Are the Champions and other famous 6/8 tunes or 3/4 tunes. So I'm going to pick ones that are a little bit more obscure. So again, Fiona Apple's Shadow Boxer. Let's take a listen to it and let's learn, is it in 3/4 or 6/8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so what can I tell right away? All right, so the hi-hat is doing a pulse. All right, so think about it. Is it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Well, it could be. It could be just a really fast tempo. But what's really going to help you distinguish between 3/4 and 6/8 is listen to the bass and snare. Is that bass on 1? Okay, it is. Is that snare drum on 2 and 3, or is it just on 4? All right? Or is it punched on just 3? So if you listen to it, 1, 2, 3, snare. Okay, that snare's on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's take a listen to it. All right, what makes that 6/8 versus 3/4? Okay, 6/8 has a punch on the downbeats of 1 and 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? That's typical of 6/8, all right? You've got this emphasis on 1, 4, 1, 4. Meanwhile, there's still a pattern of 3 going around there on the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is Fiona Apple's Shadow Boxer in 3/4 or 6/8? It's in 6/8, all right? Now, let's take a listen to a song. Maybe it's in 6/8, maybe it's in 3/4. Let's take a listen. And you're going to love this one.
What's new, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's new, Pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. Pussycat, Pussycat, I've got flowers and lots of...
All right. Who doesn't love that one, okay? Now, Tom Jones' What's New, Pussycat, okay? Everybody's favorite, okay? The man did wonderful things with scarves. All right, so with that in mind, do you hear the bass drum on 1? Yeah, you do. 1. Now, do you hear it kind of whimsical where it kind of builds from 1? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I hear it that way, don't you? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, let's take a listen to it. All right, so the difference between 6/8 and 3/4, 3/4 I always describe as more whimsical, okay? You have it kind of, the measure has kind of a built-in crescendo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And again, you'll hear this in a lot of musicals. You'll hear it in a lot of Disney tunes, because let's not be ashamed, you will hear this in Disney tunes. All right? And there's the difference, is 6/8 has the punch of 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas 3/4 has that kind of whimsical crescendo in a pattern of 3. 1, 2, 3, and you hear that snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So is Tom Jones, What's New Pussycat in 6/8 or 3/4? It's in 3/4. Okay. It's more whimsical. You hear that bass drum on 1, but you hear that kind of whimsical crescendo in the measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It would just sound weird and bluesy in 6/8, okay? All right, so let's take another one, all right? Let's take a little more difficult one, all right? Let's take a listen to The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars.
What if I wanted to break? Laugh it all off in your face. What would you do?
1, 2, 3, 4. All right, is it in 6/8 or 3/4? Well, it sounds way busier than Shadow Boxer, okay? But it doesn't sound very whimsical like that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You hear that snare drum on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you hear a lot of cool bass drum work on this. So take a listen to the beat. And again, the big characteristic, the snare drum's on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? All right, so definitely in 6/8, The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars. Okay, a bit of tongue twister. Okay, let's pick another one. All right, so I mentioned earlier that if it's in 3/4, you hear it a lot in show tunes. Okay, whether it be musicals or on Broadway or in movies. Let's take one I know you've heard. If you haven't, then I don't know what rock you have been living under. But it's Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee from the Grease soundtrack. Yes, I'm going to make you learn this.
Look at me, I'm Sandra Dee, lousy with virginity. Won't go to bed till I'm legally wed. I can't.
All right, so immediately, doesn't it sound more whimsical? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I haven't mentioned it before, which I haven't, 3/4 is also referred to as a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Again, whimsical. All right. So you hear that snare drum on 2 and 3. All right. You're not always going to hear it on 2 and 3, but it's usually punched around there, or if not, just 3. And it's done on the hi-hat, but which makes no difference if it's on the hi-hat ride. Really, you're listening to the factors of the bass drum and the snare drum. So you hear the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's take a listen to the beat. All right, so Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee is definitely in 3/4. It's whimsical. You hear that bass drum on 1, but you hear the snare drum on the 2, 3, and you hear that built-in crescendo, which means you're just getting a little louder gradually, but within the measure. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So definitely in 3/4. Let's take another one. All right. Now this is a popular one. I'm probably going to have to scoot a little further in the song. But this is Dazed and Confused by Led Zeppelin. Of course you know this one. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
You're hot and a
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so immediately I heard the bum, 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 bum. All right, so that's definitely the downbeats, but is that just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, when those drums came in, you heard that snare drum on 4. 1, 2, 3, snap. The bass, snap. Take a listen to the groove. So Led Zeppelin's Dazed and Confused, definitely in 6/8, okay? Nice bluesy, slow tune. I love that John Paul Jones bass line. It's classic, okay? So again, 6/8, not in 3/4. All right, we'll take one more, okay, which I get asked about a lot, all right? And this is Jimi Hendrix, Manic Depression, all right? Let's listen to it. Is it in 6/8 or is it in 3/4? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Already, it doesn't sound like the typical thing I heard in the last 3/4 songs, okay? But certainly not in 6/8, because the emphasis still is that whimsical 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's definitely in 3/4. But what defies the odds a little bit on this one is that the snare drum isn't on the 2 and 3. There's a lot of like shuffled upbeats. 1, a 2, a 3, and a 1, a 2, a 3, and a, but still in 3/4, okay? So take a listen to the groove and you'll see it's in a pattern of 3. So Manic Depression by Jimi Hendrix, definitely in 3/4, okay? So hopefully from these 6 examples, you understand what's the difference of 3/4 in the drumming community versus 6/8, okay? So even if you're not a drummer, hopefully you watch this, get a little bit more knowing how to describe these things. That way you will not confuse the drummer, the poor drummer. Is it 3/4 or is it 6/8, all right? So if you could see more lessons on my site, nicksdrumlessons.com. If you have any questions, let me know. But hopefully you learned something today as far as feel and is it in 3/4, 6/8. See you next time.